What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, we're talking about Stephen Espinoza, the president of Showtime. Now, he gives his take on who he thinks that the WBC middleweight champion Jermall Lions Only Charlo next opponent should be. Now, if you guys didn't know, Jermall Charlo came out on his social media mentioning a number of guys that he would like to face next. He mentioned Demetrius Andrade. He mentioned Chris Eubanks Jr., Triple G Gennady Golovkin to get his clout up. He also mentioned Oscar De La Hoya for some reason. And he also threw in David Benavidez. You guys know David Benavidez is the 168-pound former two-time WBC champion. Now, Stephen Espinoza said that a lot of those fights are possible, but he's saying that the most likely one would clearly be David Benavidez. And I have to agree, seeing that both of these fighters are on the same platform. You guys know they both fight on PBC, and those fights are a lot easier to make than when a fighter's on a different platform, and there's all types of negotiations that have to take place, not only with the fighters, but between the platforms itself. So it's a lot more difficult to make these fights, and a lot of times it keeps the fans frustrated. But business is a tough thing. But anyway, he mentioned how they almost had the fight with Munguia signed. He said they were right on the 1 yard line, and his promoter Oscar De La Hoya walked away from the fight. So as you can see, guys, sometimes these things just don't happen because of the politics in boxing and in the business side. Of course, we want these fights, but business, like I said, is business, and it's a dirty game sometimes. But he did mention how Demetrius Andrade did have a shot at Jermall Charlo. He kind of put him on Front Street about it, and I want to read what Stephen Espinoza had to say about Demetrius Andrade. He says here, and I quote, Andrade had his shot. He had his shot against both of them, Jermall and Jermall. He had a fight on the table. The time I'm referring to, and his promoter will confirm it, I don't know the year, his deal was up on DAZN, and there was a window where we said, okay, I know you're talking about re-signing with DAZN, but you could also go this way, a Charlo fight and then a Charlo fight, said Espinoza about his past attempt to make a fight between Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. He decided to re-sign with DAZN. Even after the fact, he made a comment. His comment was, if DAZN is going to continue to pay me millions of dollars to fight guys like Luke Keeler, then I'm going to resign. That tells you everything you need to know, and that's fine. If that's the way you want to go, there are a lot of ways to carry out a career. If that was his preference and he wanted to cash in on that money, that's great. But don't say that Jermall Charlo won't fight you because it was there and it was a healthy offer. There certainly wasn't anything that he couldn't have gone and fought with DAZN afterward if he wanted to do that. So in each of those, there has been opportunities. They've just not come through. So there you have it, guys. Stephen Espinoza putting Demetrius Andrade on blast about not wanting to fight Jermall Charlo when the offer was on the table. You guys know the narrative has been for quite some time that Jermall Charlo did not want to face Demetrius Andrade, but he had an opportunity there, and he decided to re-sign with DAZN. And you guys know how that goes. Like I said, with the platforms, it's harder to make these fights when the fighters are on different platforms. Now, as far as the fight with David Benavidez goes, like I said, I think that fight would be easier to make, but does Jermall Charlo really want that fight? He says he wants that fight, but we've seen, the energy a little bit different with Jermall Charlo when it comes to David Benavidez. He is in a higher weight class, so I kind of get it, but he did bring up David Benavidez's name in the past as well. And David Benavidez kind of called his bluff out on it, and Jermall Charlo, kind of changed his tune a little bit. I did hear recently that David Benavidez's brother, Jose Benavidez, who's taking on Danny Garcia this weekend, told Jermall Charlo to sign the contract to face his brother. So we're going to wait and see what happens with this, guys. I think that's an excellent fight to make. I know Jermall Charlo and both David Benavidez have been wanting to get that fight with Canelo Alvarez, who has his hands full right now with Triple G. We don't know if he's going to face Bivol after Triple G. We'll have to wait and see about that. But he is the undisputed champion at 168. And what better way than to put yourself in position to fight Canelo Alvarez is for David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo to fight at 168, and then maybe have the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez. But you guys tell me what you think about what Stephen Espinoza had to say. Do you agree with what he had to say about Jermall Charlo, his best option being David Benavidez? And what do you think what he had to say about Demetrius Andrade? You guys let me know in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.